I took a journey to see the end of the world. Here I am on a bus going through a bit of an identity crisis. Let me explain. This journey was a personal challenge for myself to go from Sahara all the way up to the northwestern coast of Spain. And this coast has a cliffside called Finesterre, which quite literally translates to the end of the world. To me, this is a place that sounded so cool to end this life-changing journey, and it kind of went hand in hand with a narrative/identity crisis that I was going through at the time. More on that later. And on this journey, there were ups and downs. I bought a ukulele in Morocco. I took a ship all the way up to Portugal. I lost my shoe, climbed a lot of rocks, went out the beaten path, met some amazing people. I felt heartbreak, I felt loss, I felt overwhelming joy and sadness at the same time. And in a situation where you're truly by yourself, the real you tends to show up. But what if the real me didn't really care to go to Finesterre? Over time, I wondered if Finesterre was really my goal, because I've been hearing through the grapevine that Finesterre was actually kind of overcrowded and the view was underwhelming. However, there was a stubborn side of me that wanted to see my goals to the very end, because I promised myself that I would do this. So I just kept trudging along. Along my journeys, I heard of this place called Murcia, which is like the sister cliff of Finesterre. The sister cliff of Finesterre. And they told me that the views were something you couldn't miss if you were on this journey. It's close by. It's a 4-day walk. And they told me that the views were something you couldn't miss if you were on this journey. So I pivoted. I ended up not going to the end of the world and going to Murcia. And on the bus ride there, I couldn't help but feel like I was betraying myself and my original goal. Like, wasn't the point of this whole trip to go to Finesterre? And this is where the identity crisis comes in. You see, I thought this pivot was an external representation of this self-critique, this thing I've been noticing in myself as I got older. For the longest time, I've been reflecting on my identity as a filmmaker. Is this really what I want to do in the long term? I mean, this is all I've known for the past 10 years of my life. So if the real me when I'm alone doesn't really care about this version of Finesterre within my soul, within my heart, then what am I? This train of thought was an echo of the many thoughts I have about myself when it comes to my goals. I wondered if I was too wishy-washy. I wondered if I was not even built for whatever I set myself out to do. I got snapped out of my spiral real quick because there was this girl who thought I was Korean and asked me if I knew a bunch of K-pop artists, and she couldn't speak English, but she was saying, "You look like BTS." I guess if you look slightly Asian, you're Korean, I guess. But I'm Filipino, so it doesn't make any sense. Oh, and by the way, yes, this picture was taken by my friend. For now, I'll call her Jenny. So Jenny was a new friend I met on this journey. She walked alongside me for a bit while I was playing the ukulele one time along the Portuguese coast. I'll tell that story another day, to distract myself from the pain I felt in my feet. And we got off the bus, we walked, I guess, like another 2 kilometers, all the way down to the village of Murcia, and we walked down towards the coast, overseeing the Atlantic.
That was tough. There's literally no path, just a bunch of rocks I had to climb through.
We had some apple pie, some bread, and some fruits. I think it was an orange. The view was fantastic. She turned to me and said, people always say that Finesterre was the end of the world, but Murcia feels like it's the beginning of a new one. And first of all, I thought that was very poetic. And second of all, I thought that was a very good way to end this trip.
But good job. We did it. July 17th, remember this date, okay?
Who cares about who I was or who I will be? Right now, that's all that matters, and I know that whatever direction I go, I'll be okay. On the bus ride home, I just looked out the window and watched the trees go by.